entrance, we've got our fruit and vegetable department. So one of my favorite things to grab for a snack or to use for my smoothies or dips or just go with pancakes or yogurt is bananas. So I have a lot of bananas, probably one a day. And moving on to some other side snacks that I like to have, cucumbers and carrots. And the reason why I like these is because cucumbers are great to use for dips, or I even use them as a dip with my peanut butter, which is fun. And then cucumbers are good on their own or a great mix for your salads. And one of my favorite fruits that I love to have on a regular basis is kiwis. They are actually extremely high in vitamin C, and not a lot of people know about that. So if you are feeling a bit under the weather, go for some kiwis. Also adding to my meals, I like to incorporate beetroots to my salad or just on the side, as well as cherry tomatoes, especially if you have a sweet tooth. Cherry tomatoes are the bomb. When it comes to potato, my personal preference is sweet potato for the taste because it is really, really good. But if you prefer white potato, that's okay too, but sweet potato is just one of my favorites. In addition to loving sweet potatoes, but also a good alternative if you want to mix up your starches, is pumpkin because it's really low in calories and really good to fill you up. So I do eat a lot of pumpkin on a regular basis, and it's also special at the moment, so woohoo, winning! Don't worry, I don't just eat the rabbit food and vegetables only. I eat a lot of meat as well because I'm quite a hungry girl. So I like to mix up my meat. Not only do I have pork, I like to grab some lamb. So I think it's always great to mix up the different cuts that you're going to choose. Generally, if you can go for some lean cuts, that's great. Or if you want to make a nice home roast, you can do that too. It's just relative towards what you like to have for that day or that week. When it comes to chicken, I really like to get the chicken tenderloins because not only are they very lean, they're obviously part of the chicken breast, but they're also very tender, hence the name tenderloin. So you can't really go wrong with that. A bit of herbs and spices, it goes great with most stir fries. Fish is another great protein source that you can add to your diet. Not only is it a great source of protein, but it also is very nutrient dense, so it has a lot of omega-3. So you can go for smoked salmon, you can go for nice cuts of salmon. So salmon is just obviously one that I prefer, as well as white fish. I generally don't like fish that crawl. I more prefer like the salmon or white fish stuff. So I'm just showing that this is the one that I like. Yeah, and I find they're really nice to go with your salads or just like a nice meal with a side of veggies. So in addition to getting protein from meats, I also get protein from eggs. So I sometimes use egg whites and normal eggs, and what I do is I'll maybe have, if I'm making like an omelet, I'll make some eggs, I'll mix them together, and I'll add in a bit of extra egg whites to add more protein to the meal. Coming into the warmer department of the grocery store, the aisles, I normally come in here to get some rolled oats. So there's many different types of oats that you can get. If you want to choose oats for a meal that will break down nice and slow, going for rolled oats is better than quick oats. But if you're just finishing a workout or you want to absorb your oats really fast, going for quick oats might be better. But for me, in the mornings, I generally have rolled oats as part of like a breakfast or maybe a nice snack to have during the day, that I also add a bit of protein powder too. And if you know me well, you always know I have room for chocolate in my diet. Oftentimes when I'm at work and I need a snack, I usually go for a chia pod, especially for those days when I'm not prepared. They are a lifesaver. And I usually mix it with one of the Chobani plain or the YoPro flavored yogurt that you can get. And if I prepare in advance, I usually have one of these containers at home, and I put about the serving size in a container that I mix with chia pods at home. And the reason also why I choose this specific yogurt is because it is a higher protein yogurt, so it makes it more of like a meal, which keeps me satisfied for longer. And if I told you I was perfect and I only ate fresh vegetables, I would be lying. Because I do work long hours, I have a tendency to buy frozen vegetables, and they really help when you're on the go and you don't have a lot of time to prepare. So green beans are a really big favorite one for me. Also, you can get a broccoli and cauliflower mix. Basically just put these on the stove and they will just melt, fry up really quickly, and then of course add my proteins to it or whatever starches that I like to have. And when it comes to berries, my favorite choices are blueberries and strawberries. And frozen berries are really good because they're often always on sale, so it's always good to have a backup of berries in your freezer. Not only can you add them to smoothies, but I generally also love to add them in the morning to my oats. As soon as the oats are done cooking, I add the frozen berries to it, and then it melts, and then it's just delicious. And sometimes when I really could not be bothered to cook, I sometimes grab one of these and slice it up and take the parts of the chicken that I feel like eating, because as great as it is to prepare the chicken, sometimes I'm just like you and have one of those days where I cannot be bothered, and it is a lifesaver.